Hi, good morning, Venkat.
Hello.
Yeah, good
Yeah, I
morning,
can
Venkat.
hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the session will be daily at 7:30.
Yes, I. So can you please ask this lady? Next also scheduled Rasmi, not is her name.
Sorry.
And ఒక person ఎవరు ఆమె పేరు శ్రావంతి ఆమె జాయిన్ కాలే నిన్న కూడా జాయిన్ కాలే సారీ.
ఒక్క నిమిషం నేను కాల్ చేస్తాను.
So let us start and I will maintain the timings because otherwise we will continue the same thing. So which is not a good approach. Yeah. Let us start. And it will be recorded, right? So they'll get recordings anyway, right? Okay. So I think in the last session we talked about hierarchy parser, right? Yeah. So which is going to help us in order to read the data from XML and get it transferred to relational form or linear form, right? So that's what we discussed, right? So I think we have seen like how XSD file would look like, which is XML schema definition. And after that, how one can make use of this particular XSD in order to build hierarchical schema component. And once you build it, how to make use of that particular what component in order to parse the XML data. Now, Seventh is joining. Sorry. So I got the reply from.
Hello.
Sorry, she is joining.
Yeah, Nasimha, she is joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nasimha, in weekends also there is daily 7:30 only. Only on weekdays 7:30, on weekends 5 a.m.
No, we'll follow same timing, or else it will be confusion, right? Sorry.
Yeah, in weekends and weekdays totally daily 7:30 only.
No, either 7:30 or some other. Let us see. I need to check with on the all the participants. I'll update on that. For now, 7:30 till Friday.
Till Friday daily 7:30.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Fine. I 7:30. Another good morning. So yesterday, I think we have seen like how to convert XML data to flat file data or linear data, right? I think that's what we did. Yeah. So let me try to log on to this cloud. Yeah. So I think we talked about how to build component based on XSD and how to use that hierarchical schema component as part of hierarchical parser transformation, right? So that is done. Yeah. Today we will talk about other way. In the sense, if we have what you call the text data as input. Now the question, how we can convert that particular text or relational data to what? XML data. So that's what we are going to see on today's session. So let me talk about theory. Yeah. So let us say we got a file one example. I'll just put here master file. Yeah. So then we have, let us say, detail file. Yeah. So master file and detail file, right? So master, let us say, example, some company name or simply name with some details. Let's say company means company details. Yeah. So then we have what we call detail file, which is again name here, then followed by detail file details. For example, employee data. Yeah. Assuming that n number of employees are working in the same company. In that case, we could able to see name, employee data, and for each employee, you like a number of rows. Example, this. Yeah. So that's it. Which means there is going to be the linkage between the master file and detail file based on what? Name to name. Yes or no? Let me type it. Name to name is company name with a company name. I'll put here company name. So that's it. Once you build the linkage, right, which is primary key and foreign key relationship. Let's say this is a primary key. So this is going to be what? Foreign key. Yeah. So once you build the linkage between these two files, then we can start pulling the data from master file and also from detail file. Yeah. What happens? It's a resound actually. Why is that? Okay. So that's it. Yeah. So I hope all of you could able to hear me, right? Yeah. So which means this way we could able to obtain the data from master and also detail file. To do that, within this Informatica Cloud, we have got hierarchy builder. Yeah. I repeat, we have got hierarchy builder transformation, which is going to help us in order to combine or in order to build the relationship between these two files and generate what? XML. As a result of this particular hierarchy builder transformation, one can start generating a target file, which we call XML file. Yeah? So that is what we could able to see as part of building an XML file, right? So that's it. Yeah, simple example. Or let us say we don't have. Let us take a single file as input. Yeah. So which means we can also take single text file. Yeah, which is a text file or relational file. So that also can be converted to XML. Because let us say we need to maintain uniformity of data across platforms. In such cases, we can convert textual file data to XML file data. That's it. Yeah. So that you can ask question why we need to convert simply text to XML, right? For internationalization, or we can say uniformity across platforms. Yeah. Because there is no data truncation across all the platforms. Yeah. So if you go with what XML with a text, there are some problems. Yeah. So that's it, which means you can take either single file or multiple files as input to this hierarchy builder to get it converted to XML form. Yeah. So that's what we can see as part of this particular what hierarchy builder transformation. Now, to do that, the concept is same as earlier in the sense we need an XSD file. First, let us take a look at the data. Then we will see how we could build metadata, which is XSD file. First thing, here we got two files Namely, this is a master file which contains what? Company names, first company and second company with the relevant address details. Example, company 1, First National Bank, the address. Jackson Industry, corresponding address. That's the first file, which is a master file. Next, detail file, where we can see for every company. See, there are three, in this case, there are three entries here. And for each company, see, there are three employees are working here. One, two, and three. And once you have these three employees, set employee details. So to which department this employee belongs to, and building and room. That's the first company. Then we have another company which is Jackson Industry. There are three entries here. Yes or no? There is a last one. Detailed file, we have got a data. In master file, we don't have data. There's no linkage. So this is just like a what? Orphan record, which will not be considered to build XML. That's it. We'll just ignore that. That's it. Which means wherever there is a proper linkage between the master file and detailed file, only those records will be sent to a target, which is in XML form. That's it. Now that we have seen the sample data, next step, in order to read this particular data, we have to have metadata, which is a XSD in this case. Yeah. Open this XSD file. Can you see here the first one, which is going to be employees is the root element. Within that, name address. That's what we have seen as part of master file. Next, employee data. Employee is what? Substructure or complex type, where we can see employee ID department. So can you see employee ID department? So then we got a subdivision. So within that, building and room. This is just a categorization. We can also put directly building and room next to department. But just to categorize it, building and room, which is part of some other substructure or complex type. Yeah. So that's it. Like how one can start what I call understanding XSD. That's it. Then for every open tag, as we discussed yesterday, for example, schema open, right? At the end, you will see schema closed. Yeah. Similar, next one is what? You will have element. Element starts here for employees, right? See element closed. Next, we have got complex type. It is started here, yeah, which is closed here. Then sequence started, sequence ended. Then we have got elements. Name, which is a type of what? String. Access means XML schema, and type is what? String here. This is going to be substructure. Within that, we can see complex type. For every complex type, you'll have corresponding sequence of attributes, like example, employee ID, department, with a type of string here. And subdivision, again, substructure. Complex type sequence is a common thing for any substructure. Here you can see again, building and room, string. That's it. So this is how we could able to what? Understand the XSD file. Here also, take complex type here. It is started here. It's a nested structure. It is started here and closed. Nested one. Then outer level, what I call complex type. That's it. Yeah. And then correspond element. Element means this is element closed, right? So for every what you call open tag, there's a closed tag. We all know that. Yeah. So for example, element open here. This is a top level element, right? Not this one. This is a top level because within this, what you call complex type, sub-complex type, which is employee. Within that, we've got employee, all that. That's it. Yeah. That's all about XSD file. Next, we can start understanding like how to make use of this particular XSD. One, to create hierarchical schema. Second, how to make use of that particular hierarchical schema in order to convert this particular relational data, which is flat file data, to what? XML. That's what we're going to see now. Yeah. So let's go to data integration microservice and then create a component, which means we are trying to convert this particular XSD, which is this, to Informatica Cloud understandable form, which is hierarchical schema. Yeah. So as I said earlier, this hierarchical schema can be built based on what? XML schema, XML, or a JSON. Yeah, we are using what? XML schema. That's it. And then click on create. Yeah. Now let us understand what hierarchical schema to build what? XML. Because ultimately we are using this to build what? XML, right? Yesterday we have used this schema to read it. Yeah. Now to build XML. That's the difference. Now choose a file which is XSD file. Yeah. So we can get in here and select what? s.xsd and get it open. So whatever was discussed in the notepad, same thing can be seen here. Employees is going to be the root element. Within that, we can see name of the company and address of the company, then followed by employee data who are associated to the each company, like employee ID and department. Then we have got subdivision, building, and room. Yeah, and then say okay, and then save it. Yeah, that's it. Then close this. Yes. Now we converted XSD file to what? Informatica Cloud understandable format, which is hierarchical schema component. Next, how to make use of this particular hierarchical schema component to convert these two related flat files to what? XML. So to do that, we can build a mapping. Yeah. Yes. So there is a source here, two sources, right? Because now we are using two sources here. First source is a master, second is a detailed, or master child or parent child. Yeah. Next, we can use what? Hierarchy builder. So let's configure the hierarchy builder transformation. Yeah. So here output, because we are forming an XML. Yesterday we have used input because we are reading data from XML. That's the difference between input settings and output settings. Now let us select a file. So hierarchical schema to build XML. This one, right? August 13. Yeah. So we can see precision here. Then output format is what? String here. Yeah. That's if you want to just confirm whether we are trying to point to the right XSD or not. See here, s.xsd. That is what we have seen here, right? This is s.xsd, which contains what? The structure. Yeah. So, and then close it. Yeah. Now let us try to map source 1 to hierarchy builder, source 2 to hierarchy builder. Yeah. Now let's configure sources, two sources. One is a master, other is a detail, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. It will not be saved. Okay, fine. It will not be saved successfully. Fine. So what we need to do is we have to restart this. Yes. Let us stop and start. You can just go here and change the status. See, it is not ready. In case, though you started, let's say, long time ago, if it is not started, we have to stop and start. Because in between, right, due to some power outage or network issues, right, it might get interrupted. Yeah. So that's why if you restart, right, things will be fine. Yeah. Okay. So now let us turn this. Okay. Now we need to wait for some time. Meantime, I'll cover theory. So this way we can take care of what converting relational to XML, right? So once we understand, so we will talk about another simple concept, because if I start another complex topic, which is normally I go with unstructured to structured conversion. Yeah, but it's better to go with a separate session. But yes, just to fill this uh, today's gap, right? So we can talk about another simple transformation, which is the filter transformation. Yeah. So this is a very simple one. So the filter transformation will be used in order to limit the number of rows. We all know that, right? So this particular limit could be done by using what? By building a simple condition. So I mean, simple means like by using plain relational operators like less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, whatever, yeah, or simply equal to. Now we can also build what? Compound condition, yeah, meaning what you will have what you call logical operators, like example a greater than 10, and what a less than 20 example, right? It means what? If you have any data in between 10 and 20, right? So we can read the data within this particular range. Likewise, you can use what? Other logical operators, like we have or not. Yeah. So which means you can say simple advanced. Within advanced, we can build complex compound condition like this. Likewise, you can also have so multiple compound conditions which can be placed in a single condition. So depending upon what we require, we can build proportionate complex condition to meet our targets. Yeah. So that's what we do as part of what building condition. Yeah. So within filter. Now, irrespective of whether we build simple or complex condition, for every condition, I'll just put here general name condition 1. For every condition, you will have what? Corresponding target. Example, for condition 1, target 1, condition 2, target 2. Yeah. So condition 2, then you will have corresponding target, which is target 2. For example, this target is related to what? Vendor. Yeah. And this another target is related to what? Supplier. Yeah. So which means, so let us say we get data from the sources where we can see both kinds of data, which is vendor data and also supply data. Now the question, if you want to maintain separate target for each of those categories, then we can build a condition and maintain separate targets like target 1, target 2. So that we could do it by using what? Filter transformation. But for every condition, so we need to build what? Separate filter transformation. Example, filter 1, then followed by filter 2. So, which means we cannot use a single filter transformation to route or to delegate data to what? Multiple targets. So, for every condition, we need to add one filter transformation. Similarly, for second filter, and have separate targets. Yeah. So, if you have too many filters, then there is going to be overhead with this particular filter transformation, which means the limitation with this particular filter transformation is what? So we need to have n number of filters for n number of conditions, and then we also need to have the data transfer between the source and filters. Yeah. So that's what we can see over here. Let's say we have got one source and n number of filters, which is n number of filters, n number of conditions. Example, condition 1. Yeah, again from the same source, again we have to have separate link here. Yeah, which is pointing to what? Another what filter, which is for second condition. So likewise, we have n number of links here. Links means there has to be data transfer between the source and first filter, source and second filter, source and third filter, and so on. So, depending upon how many our condition that you build, right, that many number of filters we need to add it, which adds overhead. One, to create filter transformation for each condition, and second, to transfer data from source to relevant filter transformation. So these are the two things that would take place as part of transferring data from source to appropriate conditions. Remember that, yeah. So this is what we do as part of filter transformation. Yeah. So there is a limitation because of data transfer overhead and spawn. Spawn means we need to create each filter for each condition, right? So that we could able to overcome by using what? another transformation which we call the router. Let us see that. Let me see the status of this. Yes, now it is ready. Now let us build a hierarchy builder. Yeah. So we'll see that router part later once you complete this filter. Fine. I just covered this gap till the server comes up, right? This theoretical I covered. Yeah. Now let us try to configure hierarchy builder. Yeah. I think we need to do it from the beginning. Yeah. So let us create a component. We already have thing, right? Build XML. It is already saved, so we can use it. Okay. So here we got two sources here. Then we have hierarchy builder. Yes, now we can connect. Before connect, let us configure hierarchy builder. So it should point to XXT, which is hierarchical schema. This one, right? Click on select. Now configure two sources. Source one, yeah. Let's say source file connection. Yes. Now select a file which is SEQ names, which is a master file, right? That's why I've just filtered based on SEQ. So we got two files, right? Say okay. Yeah. Now you can just preview the data. Make sure that we are using the right data. Yes. So you got company name, two company names, and corresponding address. So they have delimited with comma, right? That's why we don't have any problems here. Yeah. So that's it. So there are two fields here. Yeah, this is perfect. Now let us repeat the same thing for the second source for detailed file. Say okay. Then let us look at the fields. Yeah. So we got five fields here. So now we can map it. First one to hierarchy builder. Second one to hierarchy builder. Yeah. So we can also map hierarchy builder to a target because result will be XML. Now let us map within this hierarchy builder. Yeah. So input settings, nothing. Incoming fields, yes, we have got 5 plus 1, 6, 7, 2, right? Yeah, 5 plus 2. You can see address, company name in the first source. You can see, right, from where these fields have been originated. See, SEQ names, SEQ names. And building is from detail file, department, employee ID, name, and room. These are all from detail file. Yeah. So that's it. So go to field mapping. See here, I can just pre-control buttons, right? You can just expand all. On the right side also you can expand all. Now on the left side, this is a relational data. On the right side is what? XML form, where we can see root, child, child, grandchild within employee subdivision. Within subdivision, room. Yeah. So this is how the what you call XML will be represented, right? Which is in hierarchical form. So that's why we use name what hierarchy builder. Yeah, we are trying to build this hierarchy. Yeah, to build it, we get the data from the source, which is plot file data. Yeah, now we need to make these two guys to interact to get the detailed data based on master file data, right? To do that, we need to build a linkage, primary key, foreign key. Click on key and select what? Primary key. And click on name and select what? Foreign key over here. That's it. Now the link also is done. Next, we can get it mapped. Company name to name, address to address, employee ID to employee ID, department to department, building to building here, room to room here. Yeah. So that's it. Like how one can start what you call building the connectivity between the relational files to hierarchical fields. Yeah. So that's what we can see as part of converting relational to hierarchy. You can just observe and ask questions if you have any questions over here. Venkatajit and Sravanti. Okay. So building this linkage that you should not forget. Of. Yeah. Now we can configure the target. Let us see that. So we can use target file connection. Then select.
We'll be able to create runtime tables by dropping and recreating those tables, or like we should have create the structure in database before we load the data.
We got both the provisions. Like, yes, we can create tables in the backend and populate data, or runtime also you can just create it. We got both the provisions. Yeah, fine. So we'll see that anyway. So now this is static. This is XML, right? This is static only. Yeah. If you want to generate a dynamic file name with our expression, whatever, right? We can do it with date or timestamp, whatever, right? This is always there. Yeah. So okay. Now let us see. We are starting with what static file name. So what's the name here? Hierarchy builder. So based on two files, right? Two source files. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Here, because of files always insert, if you have database target, right, then we can have insert, update, outsert, or delete. Now we can supply the mapping name, mapping underscore hierarchy builder based on two source files. Yeah. And then save it. Yeah. Then run. Yeah. So let's monitor this.
Quick question.
Yes, please.
So how is the unique identifier, like unique keys are defined here? Can we use the sequence generator or the Oracle triggers are used here?
We have sequence generator.
Okay, how about the Oracle triggers, like to create unique IDs?
That also we can do it. But for that
Oh, okay.
we need to write the SQL. Yeah. So there is a separate transformation to get it done, which is SQL transformation. So let me show that. This one. We need to use this to perform any SQL operation like triggers or whatever. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll come to that later. Now we are focusing, let's say, hierarchy builder. Oh, we need to see the status. To see the status, right? We need to go to my job. See, it is processed already. 2 rows got processed. So now we can go to target and see the result. This one, right? Now one it got generated. Yeah. So we can see it here. See, first bank and address and employees who are working for that bank. First employee, details, ID, department, building, and room. Over. Next, let us compare this with actual data. First to name, address. We need to make sure that everything is right. Name, First National Bank, address, 874 Lewis Road. Correct, no? Then for each bank, employee data, employee ID, which we need to go to detail file. First employee, 122, credit 61532. So credit 61532 over. So this is the first employee data. It is opened here, employee, and closed here. Closed here. Closed tag is this one, right? Then second employee starts here. So starts and ends 261. 261 credit 6 2251. So same thing we can see here. Similarly, third employee, it starts here, ends here. So we can see 431 credit and so on. 431 credit 65312. Right? 5312. That's it. That's about first company. Only 3 employees are belonging to the first company, which is first bank, whatever, right? Next, second row starts from here. Employees is a root element, right? Jackson Industry and address. So Jackson Industry and address. That's it. Yeah. Next, we could able to see what employees who are associated to this particular second industry. First employee starts here, ends here. like 3875, whatever, manufacture, room, and also building C. Yeah. See, manufacture 3875, building C, room is 673. Similarly, second employee. Again, they are also belonging to what? Manufacture. Yeah, this one is manufacture department, right? It is closed here. So, and then another employee. So 2838, whatever, it is closed here. That's all. So we got this. Well, now we have not got this last row because there's no linked record in this parent file. That is why we did not get that particular entry, detailed file entry in the target. So that's it. And ends here. Employees closed here. And complete data is stored in what? Single string. Yeah. See, it is started here, double quotes, ended in the last. Yeah. Because when you try to configure hierarchy builder, where if you look at this output settings, see, output format is what? String. Remember, which is complete data will be enclosed within a string. That's it. Yeah. So within XML file, we'll have multiple elements. That anyway, we've already seen it. And we have mapped all the fields from the sources to all the attributes or elements from XSD. As a result, we got the converted from relational to XML in this target. So that's what we have seen in this file. That's it. Like how hierarchy builder is going to work. Yeah. So I hope it is clear about how to build an XML file from multiple source files. Yeah. Okay. So let us try to cover that also, which is filter transformation, right? We just talked about theory. Let us do that. Filter is very simple transformation. Yeah. Let us just do that. Yeah. So take new and create a mapping. It's very easy, but if you do one example, right? So you'll get a clarity. Yeah. Yes. Okay, let us take a simple file or table, whatever. Yes, I see Q1, where we can see what? Three fields here, C1, C2, and C3. Yeah. Now, configure the filter. So filter, usually we use it for string as and also for numeric, but with the numeric, if you want to perform some relational conditions, right? Numeric is better. Normal conditions, string is also okay. Yeah. And let us go with a normal condition to start with. So here you can see filter condition, either simple, advanced, or parameterized. So let's say we are starting with a simple condition. Yeah. So click on plus and select what C1. Yeah. Let's say 1. If the input data contains 1, only those rows will get transferred to a target. Yeah. Now let us supply the target here. supply file name. Yeah. Yeah. So let us apply what? Filter result, right? Filter with one target. Yeah. Not txt, because one condition. Okay. So mapping underscore filters one. Only one condition. So let's run this and run it. So we got 6 rows. So we can open this sequential file, which is 1. Can you see? First 3 rows 1, and also here also we got 3 more rows where the value is 1. So those 6 rows can be seen in the target. It's very straightforward transformation. Yeah. See only those 6 rows. Yeah. So now let us understand like how to add another condition. So as we discussed theory, right? For every condition, so you'll have a separate target. Condition 1, target 1, condition 2, target 2. Yeah. Let us do that practically. So for that, we can use another filter and connect from source to second filter. That's was theory, right? So condition 2, target, and source to what? Condition 2, which is filter 2. We are doing it here. And then now add corresponding target here. That's all. Yeah. So here we can supply, let's say, other than what we did earlier. So let's say C1. See, we can see all relational operators. Yeah. So greater than 1. Yeah. And add corresponding target here, which is filter 2. So we can also use existing one if we already have a structure created, or else we are trying to create it at runtime. Yeah. By supplying the name, or we can also use one of these formatting options. Yeah. So this is what second filter, right? Yeah. Filter 2 dot txt. Yeah. Mapping name filter 1 and also 2. So let's run this. So we got 10 rows because two conditions, right? First one 6 and second is 4. We can see first target 6 rows, we have already seen it in the last run. Now in the second target, we can see 10 rows, put together 10 rows. And instance added 2 means second time executed, which is run ID, yeah, or execution ID. So rest of the, I think, metric elements we've already discussed earlier, right? Okay, filter 2 greater than 1. See, 4775. We can compare this with what? File data 4, 7, 7, and 5. That's it. Yeah, that's what we have it. So this is also a simple condition, but we captured this in the second target. Now let us try to build advanced condition where we take care of logical operators, yeah? Logical and logical or, right? Let us see that. Oh. Now let's see, we're connecting his. Then third target. Okay, now we'll try to use advanced condition here. This one. Here you will see what text area where we can build advanced condition. For example, C1 greater than 1 and C1 less than 7, let us say. Yeah. Mismatching types. This is a problem. If you use what string. So in this case, what we need to do? We need to change the type or convert the type before we get here. One of them. Yeah. So we need to go to fields. Click on edit metadata. So integer. So because we're focusing only C1, right? So others we don't need to change. Okay. Yes. See, now it is valid. Yeah. So that's all. Now we can add a tablet. Yes. Now let us say here filter advanced, right? .txt. So to be precise, within advanced, we are using and logical operator, right? With the and. Yeah. You can also use not and or also. Yeah. Yes. So we can also change the mapping 1, 2, and compound, or we can also say that advanced, right? And save it. And yes, let's monitor this. Yeah, so let's try to refresh. See, we got 12 rows. So which means third target, right? There are 2 rows here. Total put together 12 rows. Now, so we can see advanced result, right? Which is AND operator. 4 and 5. Because greater than 1, which is 4, less than 7, which is 5. So you can look at here. So 4 and less than 7 we did, no? 5. So 7 we don't get it. 1 also we have not got it. So that's it. This is how we can capture the result in what? Multiple targets. Yes, sir. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. Else we'll stop here. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
so normally in our power center for any conversion, like from date to character or integer to string, we use the expression transformation, right? So
Right.
over here, do we use this, or we now
Yes.
since it's in the file, we went back to the source and we changed. But if it is
Mhm.
not a file, we do the same similar mechanism over here as well.
We have expression transformation here also, where we can just convert. Like we got, for example, let's say string to integer. We use what? To int. So let us
Yeah.
say string date. So we got to date function. Then date to string. Then we got what? To char. So likewise, we got whatever functions we have in this power center. It's all the functions are available here also as part of expression transformation. Here also we got expression transformation. We
Okay.
can do it. That's what I said. Here, if you want, we can change the source or we can use expression transformation in between. This is what you're asking, right? Here
Yep.
we perform conversion, like whatever conversion that you want, right? So you can just use appropriate functions here. Like whatever is in Power Center, right? All of them can be seen here also. If you just click on configure, so then go to built-in functions, you can see all of them. These are the functions available in Power Center, right? So all can be seen here. For example, conversion. So convert string to date or string to integer or and date to string, whatever, right? So anyway, we got multiple conversion functions. Fine. This
Okay.
is string date to string. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'll talk about it. I've just answered theoretically just by showing where we do it, but I'll show at least at least 2, 3 examples for each of those categories: string based sum, conversion, some of them, cleansing date, some of them, and so on. Right?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions? Okay. If there are no questions, then we'll stop here. We'll continue from it tomorrow. At the same time, same link. Yeah. So thanks to all of you and bye.